So, hello everyone here. I also did it right, because every YouTuber does it right. We moved to Japan. So you've seen Pewdiepie do it, we've seen a bunch of other YouTubers doing it, and of course, I also want to make my own video, I moved to Japan, you know, regardless if I moved to Japan or not, right? And you can see now, this is my new bedroom, apartment, right? It looks like a closet, but it was in Japan, right? In Japan, it's very, very tiny. So this is why it's so super tiny. I got like sleep on top of my stuff here, you know, it's just how it is, right? This is how it is in Japan. You're basically gonna, you know, not much space. Here's the door, right? It gets me outside to beautiful Japan and so on, right? So I'm gonna show you now how my life in Japan is. Right, the paperwork. I got paper from Skatteverket, IRS, PPS from Ireland. I believe in like 10 different countries. It's actually kind of complicated. And of course, like every other YouTuber, I haven't studied Japanese whatsoever, right? Even though I want to move 45, 50 years or so, I haven't learned a single word the word I learned going here on a trip, right? So one thing I know is that like cat means inu, Neko means dog, and I know that if you want to ask a girl out, you're gonna ask her for her manko, right? That's the only thing I know basically, like some watashi no naka manko, something like that. So anyway, it's very complicated now. We're gonna go into this scary-looking building to, you know, get to the Japanese immigration office, right? And I'm really stressed out here because, yeah, look how scary this, and this is always the hardest part of Japan, right? Because why would you ever prepare for this thing? Of course, I never studied any Japanese. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? But it's hopefully it's gonna be fine. But man, yeah, I do feel kind of nervous, seriously. God damn it, man, let's go. I did wear my Sailor Moon shirt because I feel it's gonna be helpful. It's gonna be helpful if the Jap people know that I love Japan, right? So I put it on Sailor Moon shirt. I think it's gonna be way easier now. My god, it's finally over, guys. That was super annoying. It was, but it was so helpful, right? We gotta say how good the Japanese are. Like, I have dealt with the IRS, Swedish Skatteverket, the PPS emergency in Ireland. I live in Turkey, and I never seen such helpful people, right? And they love the shirt. And it's just, my god, I'm so happy I'm in Japan, right? Because once I called Skatteverket, and the guy went over like every little line in the paper with me and so on, and it's complicated consulting, this one. But I never seen this kind of level of help that in Japan. But that guy's only helpful. Only in Japan is the, you know, the state and the government and so on actually helpful, right? So I'm really happy that I moved to Japan because, yeah, I would never experienced an actual like functional government outside of Japan, right? Okay, so as you see here, it's called H2O, or as you plebs call it, water, right? And as every other, you know, YouTuber ever, right, I'm very impressed by the Japanese nature. Like, this is water. Water like this only exists in Japan, okay? See that thing over there? That's called a motra, okay? That's what the name comes from. This is a motra. We call it like a duck or whatever, right? Or anka. But that's actually a motra Japanese. That's where the motra comes from. And yeah, as every other, you know, YouTuber, I'm very impressed by the Japanese. I saw a lot of beautiful, you know, Japanese like water, right? Only in Japan. Only in Japan will you find water like this. Only in Japan you have water like this, okay? This thing here is called a honya, okay? We call it tree, of course, but the Japanese call it a honya. And as you can see, this kind of forest, right, trees and so on, they only exist in Japan, right? This is one of the things that I'm so happy, I'm so grateful about being allowed to live in Japan and experience, you know, trees and nature and stuff like this that only can exist in Japan, right? As I mentioned earlier, right, it's just amazing finally be able to go to a forest, right, that only exists in Japan. The main reason, right, is because the Hinita blossoming, right? So it's supposed to look like this. I actually live very close to one actual Hinita garden, but unfortunately it's not blossoming right now in this month, so I couldn't record it. But actually there's one Hinita petal there on the ground, so. Now the thing with Japan, of course, is the food, right? The super convenient food, you know, ready to eat and so on. It's absurdly cheap, very, very affordable, and you can find something like soba noodles or that you can never buy outside of Japan. This only exists in Japan, this thing called like cup noodles and so on. Like, I never seen it before I moved to Japan, right? And it's just so convenient, and it's cheap, and it just makes living in Japan way, way better than any other country. Because I quickly ran to Hokkaido, guys, to get image here, right? So one thing I really love about Japan is how they really care about the elders, right? They care about, you know, staying in shape and so on. So they have all these outdoor gyms everywhere. Again, something you only find in Japan. I guess like China and Korea so too, right? But yeah, so please subscribe to so right, because I took a very quick run up to Hokkaido just to get even here to show you guys. As you see, I got like a nunchuck, I got triple nunchucks, and a katana and everything. So you know this is really Japan. Like, this is everything you always find in Japan. Okay. Posted a lot of animes, right? And I know this is a unique thing for Japanese things, right? So you have it called the beach next to the Ume in Japan, and this was so many animes that has what we call the beach episode, right? And again, of course, this is why anime are filled with these beach episodes, because the beach only exists, of course, in Japan, right? So you can never experience this actual like beach kind of, you know, I'll say the basically the bikinis, the oppies, the ass, and everything like that. It only again will happen in Japan. So it's really happy. I'm really happy and grateful, right, to actually be able now here then to go, of course, to the actual beach, right, and experience the beach. Some kind of handiwork. Look at that. Yeah, it's a little house over there, man. Japan never stopped amazing me. It's like a little house thing. If I move like here, see it better. See, it's like a floating little house there for animals. Amazing. It's another one of those amazing Japanese moments, right? Only in Japan can you meet, you know, like tamed animals and, you know, basically pet animals, right? So this bird here, this is called Neko. I asked a local, right? And it's Neko bird, and it's just amazing. Look at it, look at its babies and so on. And this is an experience you can only have in Japan. So again, I'm so happy I moved to Japan. It's like every other YouTuber, right? I finally like can actually meet animals, I can touch animals and so on, right? And this is amazing, especially if you're a furry, right? And or whatever it's called, scaly. So what you can see here, right, is a pink cast in the background here. Yet again, a typical Japanese thing, right? It's so much history, so much old school stuff, right? You can never expect this like in America or Europe or whatever. Of course, his flags here isn't the typical Japanese flag. I already know it's moved yesterday, right? So I think this is kind of like maybe the Honshu flag or the Koshu flag or whatever. But you see in the background there's a pink cast. See, this is why I moved to Japan, because you only find this kind of nature in Japan. The rest of the world is just goddamn polluted. And I mean that on my, you know, I'm not joking, right? I'm kind of sorry that the world is just destroyed, but as you can see here, you can find this kind of nature, right? You can completely inside this amazing, almost like a dungeon, like a video game, JRPG dungeon, right? Of plants or whatever, yeah. Like, this is amazing. And you can't find this anywhere else in the world. This guy says me at Tokyo Tower, right? Because only in Japan do they have tall towers. So when you look at that, only in Japan can you buy stuff that's unreadable text. Look at it, some kind of moon script. Yeah, only in Japan can you get this kind of stuff. And also particular, you're wondering how can you have this same studio, London, if you just move to Japan? It's because this recording here is actually in the past, right? So I actually recorded this thing, talking about now to you guys before I moved to Japan, right? And what we've seen recently, like the reactions to One Piece today and so on, of course, they're also in the past, right? So currently here, just look at me recording stuff that I'm later gonna add to this I am moving to Japan video, right? And doing those reactions and reviews and so on, right? That stuff, of course, is because I'm so good at predicting stuff. Because you know my best skill, right, is of course prediction, right? I did a lot. For example, every game I ever played in my life, I'm not actually good at the game. I'm just good at predicting how my opponent's gonna act, right? So I'm predicting what I'm myself gonna say in Japan, and I'm predicting also what is gonna happen in this if it's manga and animes and games so much. It's all, you know, me future sighting, right? What's gonna happen, right? Or maybe I just moved to Japan years ago and I just wanna make a video anyway. But seriously speaking though, I am, of course, from Sweden, right? If this video gets a million views, let's say a million views feels good, a million views, then I could do a video about me actually knowing Pewdiepie, right? Like for example, right? So I do actually know Pewdiepie from when he was in school, right? I went to the same school with Pewdiepie, so that's a video I would do then if we get a million views, or like at least a million views, right? Or let's say a million likes or whatever, right? That is true, for example. As you see, I changed clothes like 7 times in this video, right? And this was all recorded yesterday, right? I didn't run around and record it over years of traveling and so on, and it was all from Japan, like there wasn't different countries and so on. So anyway, subscribe, press the like button, guys, and have a great day.